everybody, and welcome to ESO Weekly here on the ShoddyCast channel. Only 57 days until the release of this game that we have been covering for feels like an eternity.
It really does. Can you believe we have been covering this game for over a year?
I can because I was there.
Yes. Okay. It's crazy, dude. Oh man, it doesn't feel like that long, but my god, less than 2 months away, and I could not be more excited.
Yes, so if you are unaware, I am Kyle, and with me, as always, our dear brother Josh.
Dremulok, greetings. That's my new thing now.
Is that your new thing?
I'm just gonna do that every time.
Alright, so let's just hop into it. We're going to talk about a bunch of things, but we wanted to look over this Arrival trailer. Don't worry, we're not going to play the whole thing because we know you've seen it probably about 15,000 times. We just wanted to go over it and give our opinions of this kick-ass trailer. So let's go ahead and start this baby. Breading your sexuality.
Oh god, it's so good to see that mature rating on there, by
Isn't
the
it?
way. It really is. It's really something.
Yes, so we're starting off kind of like right where it left off. You had the three alliances circling each other. They're still kicking ass right now.
Yeah, I was so excited to see that the story was actually continuing from the last trailer. Something very cool.
Kind of like their dungeons. You know, you do the instance dungeons, you have a storyline that's going on, you come back, do the master level of it, and it continues on that same storyline.
My god, it's all connected, like Inception or something.
And just look how cool this place looks. Can you imagine if they could actually make the game look like this, like realistically?
No, gosh, I know. And that's the thing about trailers. It beats you up inside because you're sitting these things, you're watching them, getting so hyped, and then you're like, you know the game looks nothing like this, right? Yes, we know the game looks nothing like this, but it's still fun to watch
cool, though,
these
that
trailers.
Dark Anchor. Oh, and did you see those Bosmer, the Wood Elves, were the ones in the bone helmets? They look so cool.
Oh, were they?
I love that armor. Love it.
Yeah.
There they are right there. There's one.
Yeah, looking beastly. It makes sense that the Bosmer would be wearing bones, right? Because that's their culture.
Yeah.
They wear a lot of bone stuff.
And just in case you didn't know, these three guys right there, they are not like the king, queen, and stuff. They're just like war leaders.
Yes, that's a very, very common misconception. There's people who think that the hot-looking high elf chick is the queen, and although, yes, the queen is a hot high elf chick, that is not that specific one. We're assuming, these are like commanders, right?
Yeah. Oh, that Daedric gear.
Yes, and so we're seeing Molag Bal's minions here, some sort
What are
of...
those called? Like Satifs or something like that? The caster ones? Can't remember what they're called.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Oh, but
You
it
got
just
me
looks
there.
so good. Oh no, the poor Breton's been stabbed. Was that the Breton that got stabbed?
I don't know, I didn't really catch
Oh god,
that.
it's a flesh atronach.
Gosh, I have to say how amazing... Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, that creepy beast thing. What was your reaction the first time you saw it?
Oh my god, it was so creepy looking. I loved it.
Now that's mature looking content right there. That's a beastie looking nasty dude. I love it.
I'm pretty sure that is a flesh atronach though.
I gotta say, after playing these Elder Scrolls games for so long now, to see like things just as simple as the Daedric armor, like conceptualized and actually put into a really sexy looking trailer. Oh man, just it makes me excited all
And they
over the
look
place.
so close to like the Skyrim version of the Daedric armor. You saw how like the horns on top of the helmets were kind of uneven, just like the Skyrim's version.
Yes, very, very well done. Now,
Scamps!
yeah, we're seeing this scamp show up again. Very cool. Got the Breton guy there kicking some butt.
I have to say, initially, I thought the Breton guy, leader guy, was like a wuss.
Really?
Yeah, like he didn't seem to do very well.
He's got that Altair thing going on with his daggers, and he fights very... If you watch these trailers with him fighting in it, and then you go watch the Assassin's Creed trailers, his movements are very, very similar. I don't know if the same studio, because, you know, they outsource these trailers. I don't know if it's the same studio doing it, but it would be interesting to see.
Okay, here comes the best damn part. Where the elf is gonna kick some ass.
Hey, spoilers.
Oh, I'm not spoiling nothing. We've all seen this a billion times.
Yeah, it looks like the Daggerfall guy's really getting the short end of the stick
Isn't
right
he?
here.
He's surrounded, he gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Anything up, that's it for him.
Terrible.
Oh, I love redheads. Oh, panty shot.
What she's doing, and that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of people, if you guys didn't see that, maybe we could rewind it for a second.
No.
But yes, there was a panty shot of the high elf chick, and there was people that were like, really? Come on, a panty shot? Are we 12 years old? And I do have to agree with those people to an extent. But...
Oh my god, she's so pissed. Oh, I love this part. I like when she smacks him against the wall and he disintegrates. Oh, that's so good.
Is it not apparent, ladies and gentlemen, that the Aldmeri Dominion is just the freaking faction of choice in this game? Is it not apparent
She just
yet?
shrugs this arrow shot off like,
Yeah,
oh, you
she's,
son of a bitch.
Really? Really? You're gonna do that?
By the
Well,
way, she's gonna save all of these guys in a second. Just saying.
just leave it.
She was the one that hit that chain. Just saying.
Leave
See,
it
right there.
Yeah,
Oop,
there
see?
it is.
Save them all right there.
Okay, ready? Oh, finally! Oh my
Still
gosh!
taking arrow
Maybe
shots, by the
instead
way.
of fighting all the minions one by one, we should just take care of this whole anchor thing that they're coming out of.
And did you see-
Again, high elf's intellect, very smart,
She was like holding on to the lightning bolt like it was
like a
a
rope.
rope or something.
Yeah.
How is she holding on to it?
I don't know, but that's spell better be in the game, and you know it's not going to be.
That thing. Oh, I love this trailer so much.
It is a very good looking trailer. The thing that really I think excited about me the most was, sure, it was a continuation of the story, but also just how long it is. It is very, very long for a game trailer, which, yes, it makes sense that this is probably going to be the sexiest, longest trailer we're going to see in this game, just because this was the trailer. It was no mistake. It was released right when Elder Scrolls Online went live for their pre-orders. So their pre-orders come out, and here is a sexy trailer for you to all get hyped about so that you go out and buy the game.
Yep. So we saw everyone's about to get crushed, or at least you would assume they're about to, except for the Breton who got away on his horse.
I always found it, I don't know, did we see the Ebonheart Pack guy just hide under a rock or whatever?
Yeah, he basically was like, oh crap, alright,
I love
better
what,
hide.
I love what people are saying, like, oh, you know, the sky is falling. I'm a tank. I'll just, you know, crouch and survive this. And that's exactly what he did. No biggie. He's constantly digging his way out of the ground.
It's just another Monday for him.
Yeah, these Ebonheart Pack guys. It's no big deal.
I'm just wondering, what is he gonna do with that Altmer chick?
You know, okay, because I don't know, maybe I'm not very intelligent, but I first watched this trailer and I'm like, yeah, she just saved his butt. Is he now, like, saving her? But no, I shouldn't be so naive, right? I mean, he's probably taking her prisoner.
Yeah, maybe ransom her or something like that.
Yeah, sure. There was this moment where, yes, the factions came together to fight a common enemy, but that doesn't mean that we're all friends and buddy-buddy all of a sudden.
Isn't that a lovely shot of Cyrodiil?
Yeah, very, very cool shot. Such a well-done trailer, and yes, she's still alive. Thank God.
Oh, and here we go. We're thinking this is the end for the Breton.
Aw, is he just gonna go off and die?
No, Breton, don't die. Wait, why is he
Wait,
leaving a
wait.
trail of
Oblivion
deadness?
fans, hold on to your seats. Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Thank you.
He's corrupting the earth around him. Oh my god.
Yes, and then we get the shot of the new undead Breton.
He's a freaking necromancer.
So many parallels. Any WoW fans out there have drawn many parallels to this character in, say, the Lich King or Sylvanas Windrunner. Very similar stories, right? Somebody fighting for the good of their faction turned into the undead and forced to, you know, basically fight against the cause he once served.
And I just wanted to freeze it here at 7 minutes 45 seconds because there's something a lot of people didn't notice in the background. If you notice in the clouds, who's in the clouds right there?
I can't see. Oh my goodness. It's
Molag Bal, just sitting right there, showing that his presence is there, going towards Cyrodiil, or going towards the Imperial City.
Chilling out in the sky like a big bad deity.
Yep, just shows that his influence is there.
Yeah, very cool. That was a subtle thing. Yeah, I didn't catch that at all.
But yes, awesome trailer. I really hope there was going to be more coming out. Maybe on launch day they'll do something, but yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Trailers are a lot of fun, and I know it's very, very easy to be cynical about trailers. It's very, very easy, just because, you know, you think to yourself, oh, you know, the game's gonna look nothing like this. We're getting excited over CGI, that's all it is. And yes, absolutely, that's 100% true. But at the same time, trailers are simply a reality of video games. It is to generate hype, and it gets to the point to where you're just like, you know what, let me enjoy this. Is this money that was spent on the trailer? Could it have been money spent on something else in game development? Sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a different studio working on these trailers. These things are outsourced from the developers, and it's fun to get those when we get them. So
at least they save money on voice actors, since there was never a word spoken in it.
It's
or
just-
the last one, I think.
no, not a word. You don't need to speak when there's, you know, undead attacking you. It's kind of I think Joran said, or not Joran. I want to always call him Joran. The commander guy there. He said something. He was like, "Ah," which is Nord for charge.
Yeah. All right, so that was the trailer.
Yes. The internet collectively, you know, jizzed their pants over it. Let us know what you guys thought about it. Obviously, it was pretty kick-ass.
Indeed. So there was an Ask Us Anything article, pretty short one. They called it a Variety Pack 12 or something like that, but really not a lot of new information in there at all. But, you know, that's kind of the way of things when there's so much information about the game already out there. So just a couple things I did want to make clear. Let's see. We will be able to switch between the European and North American server at any time you want. Apparently, it's not going to cost us anything, but characters made on like the North American one cannot be transferred over to the European one. Now, this may change. They may like make it a service charge or something for you to be able to do that. You would assume, right?
A paid server change, yeah.
Something like that. I mean, that's very common practice. So we can probably expect to see something like that. Also, a watcher of ours had just tweeted a conversation they had with one of the devs. And apparently we won't be able to switch characters from platforms either. So from a character you might have on the PC that you want to then switch over to console once that releases, apparently that's not going to be possible.
Yeah.
Again, this is something that could potentially change later, but as of right now, no, can't do it.
Yeah, it's very suspected. You know, you're going to go into this game at launch. You know where your friends are. If they're playing on PS4, they're playing on PC, whether they're playing on the EU servers or the American servers, what have you. Just roll on the server that you have the most friends on, and the chances that you'll want to end up transferring later to platforms or what have you is going to go down considerably, just because, and this is ideally the, you know, whole point of MMOs is to get you involved with a group of gamers that, you know, you click with, a guild, and a group of people that you just like questing with and doing activities, whether they be PvP or raids. And so, yeah, I'd recommend that everyone just choose a server and then stick with that one.
And join guilds, dang it.
Yeah.
It's half the fun.
Absolutely.
All right, if you do purchase the Imperial Edition, the horse that comes with it is going to be available for all your characters, not just if you make an Imperial.
Right.
So that's good to know. That'll really help with initial leveling because you'll just get places quicker. May even allow you to dodge minions easier if you're just trying to get somewhere and not having to fight your way all the way over there.
Sure. This is something that's very, very common with any MMO that includes a digital item as a pre-order, whether it be a mini pet or a special mount. You're going to get that mini pet unlocked on all your characters. And that's been consistent with every single MMO I've ever played that had this sort of thing, whether it be World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, what have you. They have all had this feature, so you don't have to choose, oh, my first character gets this mini pet and then none of my other characters do. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to happen.
And also keep in mind, this means you get to save money on, you won't have to buy a horse then in-game, so that'd be cool. And this one really isn't news, it's just, they always get asked questions about vampires and werewolves, and Zoss still continues to dodge every single one of them. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I think I understand why they dodge every vampire and werewolf question. They want it to be, because in the past test games, when he became a werewolf or became a vampire, it was this surprising moment. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing, and that's why they probably don't want to reveal too much information about it. They want it to be a surprise.
All right, and that was it for the Ask Us Anything. So we are going to talk a little bit, just a little bit, about the Imperial Edition and the pre-order bonuses. Now, we're not going to go into this in detail because I have an opinion article written on our site, and Josh has a 40-minute long, I don't want to call it a rant video, but it's a rant video.
It's a rant. It essentially operates as a rant video. Maybe the first 15 minutes was informational and the rest is a rant. But yes, if you want to read Kyle's opinion on it or listen to my opinion on the whole pre-order thing, we're going to briefly recap it here. But the majority of the content, I encourage anyone that's going to go out there and pre-order, if you haven't already, at least do yourself the favor as a consumer. Inform yourself about the decision before you actually execute the decision, right? Because the best consumer is an informed consumer. So whether it be reading articles or watching videos, there's definitely a lot of things that every person interested in the Elder Scrolls Online should know before placing their pre-order purchase.
All right. So yeah, we just basically wanted to make sure that, we're not telling you to not pre-order the game. We're not telling you to do that. We're not telling you not to get the Imperial Edition. That's not what we're doing. We're just giving you our opinions on it and then letting you, the consumer, make up your mind whether or not you want to buy it.
Absolutely.
Or pre-order it. And if you want an opinion from people who actually do agree with this Imperial Edition and like the pre-order bonuses and stuff, head over to Elder Scrolls Off the Record, because I think pretty much all of them except maybe one member on that cast, agree in like this Imperial Edition and pre-order stuff.
Yeah.
So just get both sides of the same thing and just make your decisions from there.
Yes, because I will say, I've said this in the WTF Elder Scrolls Online. We'll go ahead and annotate it so you can go watch that video after this as well. But, at the end of the day, every consumer votes with their dollar. And no matter what Kyle or I say, or the folks on Elder Scrolls Off the Record, or Andrew over at Tamriel Foundry, no matter what we say, at the end, the decision lies with the individual. And your greatest voice isn't going to be the comment in the YouTube section. It's not going to be the comment on a website article or a tweet to ZeniMax. It's going to be the dollar that you put down towards the game. So just always, and that's something we all know, but it's always good to be reminded of it.
All right, but there were a few things I did want to bring up just because there is some information out there that should be shared. The Explorers Pack, that's not going to be sold post-launch. They've already said this specifically on their FAQ. They say, and this is a quote, "No, the Explorers Pack is only available to customers that have chosen to pre-order or pre-purchase the game. Although customers will be able to upgrade their standard edition to the Imperial Edition, the Explorers Pack is reserved only for the customers that chose to pre-order or pre-purchase ESO."
Yes.
So again, the Explorers Pack is the ability to create any race and any alliance. It's the vanity pet. I can't remember what the vanity pet is for that one.
For the Explorers Pack?
Yes.
It was like this little reptile-looking thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then the early access, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that's the Explorers Pack. So the pack is not going to be available for purchase after the game has come out. But that's not to say that the any race, any alliance thing isn't an option that you could unlock post-launch. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe that's something that they might sell extra in their service store or cash shop or whatever you want to call it.
That's exactly what I wanted to bring up too, because I think there's some confusion out there, and particularly as a response to your article and then my video that we posted. There's some confusion that people still don't understand that there's going to be a cash shop in this game.
I know a lot of people hate that term because that kind of goes towards like microtransactions like booster packs or just vanity items, buying weapons or whatever else. That's kind of what people think when we say cash shop. So far, it isn't that. So far, it's more of just services.
But it
that you can pay
absolutely is a cash shop. There's no way around that term. Whenever you're charging for content, whether it be vanity items or booster packs, it's a cash shop.
Yeah, I just want to make sure people know that we're not saying like for sure there's going to be something like that in game. So far, it's something outside of the game on their website. And right now, it's just reserved for services, but we'll see where that goes, because it's a slippery slope.
And that's the thing, is it's a slippery slope. I will just say this, and we're seeing this over the course of the game, and this is what I had mentioned in my video. In the course of the development of the game, what you're seeing is the developer saying one thing, and then the marketing team coming in and saying another thing and implementing something different. Perfect example. when the subscription fee was announced for the Elder Scrolls Online. Whether or not you agree with a subscription fee or not, that's irrelevant. The point is that Matt Firor actually came out and said, and this isn't a direct quote, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that 100% of the game will be available to you with your subscription. And he did use that term. He said 100% of the game will be available to you after the box copy and after the subscription fee. Now, I think when Matt Firor said that with his development team, I think he actually meant it. I think he thought that's where it was going to end up. Now, what we're seeing with the whole Imperial being introduced as a race that, yes, you have to play if you want to unlock at the moment. This is how it operates, and that's what we're aware of. Now, when these things become introduced, it makes you wonder, well, yes, probably this is definitely not a decision that was made by the developer. This is a decision that, of course, is being made by ZeniMax Media Inc. And so what we're seeing right now is a company undermining a developer's decision to do things. And it also feeds into the whole, and it was a huge announcement. It's an absolute big announcement, and I think needs to be reiterated here for anyone who's just tuning into ESO Weekly right now and haven't, read our articles or seen the videos over the past week. But yes, if you pre-order the game, you will be able to play any race and any faction. And this came with mixed reviews. Some people were all on board with this because they were on board with it from the start. Being able to play a Dark Elf under the Daggerfall Covenant or a Nord under the Aldmeri Dominion. There was excitement over that, and no matter which side you fall on, whether or not you're excited that the races have been unlocked to the factions, or if you're not for it, at the end of the day, we do have to step back and stick to the information and the facts. And the facts were that ZeniMax, the developer, leading up to this decision, and any of their QA articles or anything about when they were asked about how races are locked to factions, they were behind this idea 100%. They were behind this idea of faction pride and having races specific to alliances. And then to later have them flip on that means, yes, we're seeing this thing where developer meets company, right? Developer meets company, and company overpowers developer because they're the ones paying the salaries at the end of the day. So yeah, just everyone should always mull over this stuff and really take a step back to evaluate the situation, just to know what's going on in general, so that we can all make informed decisions.
Yep, and I wanted you guys to know that you can actually find websites online now that are selling the game. You can actually find Imperial Edition for almost the same, if not the same price as the Standard Edition. I found 2 sites now. I think the thing's over now. The discount's over. But I mean, they may do it again. $60 for the Imperial Edition.
Yeah, I think that was on Green Man Gaming. At least that's what I was hearing.
There was that one, and yeah, there was another one. I can't remember what it was called.
Gamersgate?
Yeah, I mean, they're out there.
Gamersgate is another one that does a lot of those stuff.
So just keep an eye out. And if you do only get the Standard Edition, keep in mind that even post-launch, you can upgrade to the Imperial Edition, which, I mean, is convenient, but to me, that just makes it more proof that it is considered a day one DLC.
It is a money grab. It absolutely is a money grab, but
I know people are throwing negative comments. I see a lot of dislikes being hit right now, but whatever. That's our opinion.
You know what? And throw your dislikes at us. Fine. That's perfectly okay. And there's people that are saying, "Oh, why are you guys being so mean to ZeniMax? Your channel has been so successful with ESO content and stuff like that." Quote me on this. I will never, and I repeat, never sell my integrity to get more views or more likes or what have you. Absolutely not. And any fanboy out there who thinks that ZeniMax just cannot do any wrong and has never disagreed with any decision they've ever made, please leave now. And I sincerely mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because if there's nothing more destructive, I think, to the game industry than fanboyism. Because what fanboyism is, and I'm not saying that if you disagree with me or Kyle, you're a fanboy. Absolutely not. Everyone has their own opinions. But if you're out there and you have never once protested anything that ZeniMax has ever done, I think you're being dishonest with yourself. And that sort of dishonesty and is just not constructive to a game developer who has time and time again asked for fan feedback. They want your constructive criticism. They want open discussion like what's happening between Kyle and I, between Elder Scrolls Off the Record, when you guys talk about it in the YouTube comments. That sort of constructive feedback and open discussion is very, very beneficial to any game's growth, and it's how they get better. And if you're just the type of person who is a straight up fanboy through and through and isn't offering that sort of constructive feedback, you're hurting the game more than anyone else out there ever will, and I just need any fanboy to know that. Okay, sorry. I had to get that off my chest. I did it now. I'm done.
I
washing
get
my
it.
hands.
When I see some of the things like this, these practices being done, I feel like ZeniMax Media Inc. has like the book MMO Business Models for Dummies, and they are just picking out stuff from every chapter and throwing it into this game to try to make money on it. And I mean, kudos to them. I mean, that's what they're there for, is to make money.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're putting so much negative pressure on their developer, who keeps having to retract their statements because they keep being forced to put these
absolutely
these poor decisions on their game, and it's just I pity ZeniMax Online.
I really do, and in all this, I feel more for the developers than anyone else, because what you're seeing, and I think this was mentioned on the Tamriel Foundry has a ESO like a video cast, and they mentioned the fact, I thought it was a very good point, that seeing the company do all these money grabs before the game is ever released. And I have to say, I followed many MMOs before their release, and I haven't seen so many money grabbing like moments as I've seen with Elder Scrolls Online, subscription fee, cash shop, Imperial exclusive, all this stuff. I've never seen so much money grabbing, and what it really says at the end of the day, I think, at least as a consumer, is that it seems to me the company, ZeniMax Media Inc., the corporate suits, don't have enough faith in their developers that they're just going to make a good game that everyone's going to be on board with and everyone is going to consistently pay a sub fee for. You know, I think those guys over at ZeniMax Media Inc. are just trying to recoup their investment as quickly as possible and make money for this game before it even launches. And what does that say at the end of the day? I think it, through their actions, they seem to me afraid that their game is not going to succeed. And that has to be crushing as a developer, to see their company grab for money before the game has even launched. Because I know I'd be disheartened. If I was on the team over at ZeniMax, I'd be like, whoa, man, my company doesn't have much faith in the product I'm pushing out here.
Yeah, that's why I pity ZeniMax. All right, so
pity the fool.
Let's just move on, because I know we can talk for another good hour.
We could talk about this for the next 2 months before the game releases.
So we're gonna force ourselves to move on to the community segment. Starting off, yes, we're actually gonna get to it this week. Questions from the SHODDIENCE. And welcome back, a fellow fan, someone we love, dearly, Tyrone the Red Guard.
Oh my goodness, Tyrone the Red Guard is back.
He has returned, and let's see what he has to say.
Yo, what it is, Colin Josh, Tyrone the Red Guy here again. I've been out of contact due to some Imperial 5-0 trolling me in the joint for killing a chicken down at Riverwood with my curved sword. Picked my way out the joint though, and now I thought I'd slide on over to the ShoddyCast to ask a question. First thing is, when do y'all think the open beta will begin? Second thing is, will our achievements in the beta move on over to the actual game? It's good to be back, my brothers. Had to disband the rumor. Yeah, this is my real voice. And yeah, I do live in Westside Hammerfell, where the internet is terrible. Peace, my brothers.
Oh man, Tyrone the Red God. Let me tell you, brother, I level with you on the whole chicken thing. It's we all been there. We've all been there. That's
Haven't
all I'm
we?
saying.
I swear it's like the first thing we all do when we go to Riverwood.
Riverwood, absolutely. Oh gosh,
man.
Don't attack the chickens. All right, so the question, when do we think open beta will be announced, and will any of the progress we make in open beta, whether they be achievements, will they carry over?
I can tell you one thing that I know for sure: your open beta stuff is not going to transfer over. Yes. It's just not. So, dash that hope. It's not going to happen. As for open beta, God, you would think it would already be out by now, because the game's only less than 2 months away.
I know.
But That said, and this is strictly like rumor or speculation or however you want to say it.
Enter the speculation zone.
There is this article actually that came out. It was just kind of an article saying that there's going to be an article coming out from GameZone.com. They say here, I can't really reveal much about it right now. This is talking about their experience with ESO. Since the embargo on our coverage doesn't lift until 10 a.m. on Friday. Now, what could ZeniMax possibly have an embargo on that couldn't already be shared? Because there's so much information out there. So many people have already shared their preview with Elder Scrolls Online. So what could they possibly have information-wise that could not be shared with us by now?
Yeah.
Which leads me to think that all press embargo altogether may be lifted at 10 a.m. on Friday, this Friday.
Yeah. Now, Kyle, I have to say, normally I'd be very skeptical of this kind of like tidbit of information and speculation here. But you have a track record of being right on these
That
things.
is true.
So I'm just gonna be on your side for this, and I'm gonna say that open beta happens when you say it does.
I do tend, for some reason, to pick the correct dates with some
Yes,
things. I don't know.
a speculation master, as it were.
But that said, should that be true, I can tell you right now, I can pretty much guarantee you will find me streaming on Twitch, ESO, starting a new character and burning through it, and you will love it.
Absolutely,
I know
absolutely. The day open beta gets announced, embargo is lifted, we get to finally speak our minds on every little topic that priorly we could not, just because we're under like legal obligation not to discuss it. So the day that happens, ESO Weekly is about to get a whole lot more interesting. And I plan on maybe making a couple of videos here and there, just like constructive open letters to ZeniMax about feedback about their game and things like that. And once the embargo is lifted, that'll be great.
Yeah, because if you feel like we've been really negative on the game lately, I can pretty much tell you it'll definitely be balanced once the embargo's lifted, because there's so much good stuff we want to say about the game that we just haven't been allowed to yet. So that's why we're really looking forward to this embargo just to be gone. Alright, next one here is from Lumberjack John.
Greetings, ShoddyCast. My question for you this week is, do you think I will be able to walk up to a tree in ESO and chop it down? And if not, do you think there will be a similar animation at a lumber camp where I can grab a log off a pile and shove it in a water wheel to chop it up? Thank you for answering my question. You're doing a great job. P.S. How dare you call me a filthy tree?
Okay, so last time I think you called him an imp.
Oh, yes.
Treebeard, I think, specifically.
Just because the way he talks, like Treebeard.
He kills trees for a living. Why would it be one?
Treebeard would want to kill Lumberjack Joe.
Right?
But yeah, what a predictable question, Lumberjack Joe. I mean, holy cow.
John.
Or Lumberjack John, sorry.
Oh, now he's going to be pissed
Now
at
he's
you
going to
again.
be pissed I got his name wrong.
I don't know if I could really answer this question. I mean, would it really be breaking so much NDA just to be saying, like, oh,
well, there's definitely, let's just go with what we already know has been announced. We know there's lumber mills in the game, right? Lumber mills are a resource cap in Cyrodiil, right? You have the blacksmith, you have the lumber mill, you have the...
I wouldn't call it lumber mill. Wood crafting? Because a lumber mill is a place you go to cut wood up and turn it into things.
Oh, that's not what it was?
The actual profession is called, like, wood crafting or something like that.
Oh, you're shifting the... Oh, I'm talking about just the resource cap node in Cyrodiil. You know, there's a fortress, and then around it there's a blacksmith, a lumber
I
mill,
see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You're talking about in Cyrodiil, the resource thing. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm talking more about, like, gathering stuff, because that's probably what he's more
a strict-up
about.
Profession, yeah. That's the only thing I know. I know for sure, John, that there's that there's lumber mills in the game, so you can go pretend you're helping out with their operations. But yeah, Kyle, what about the crafting, like a profession?
You can gather wood. I mean, if you don't know that by now, well, now you do. You can gather wood. I'm not going to say how it's done, just because if I'm going to get banned from the game for something, it's not going to be saying that.
Yeah, let's save our NDA breaking information for something a little bigger.
Yeah. I know... No, I'm not even going to joke about anything. But yeah, I guess to an extent, your RP needs will be fulfilled.
There's people that love woodcutting, man. I have a friend who, ever since RuneScape, that's the only thing he loves to do in games. Well, not the only thing, I'm exaggerating, of course, but he loves chopping wood. Something about it, man. Maybe their ancestors chopped wood, and so they're inclined to do it. I don't know.
He's got wood. I had to do it.
You just had to be a 13, 12.
Moving on. Last one here is from Joseph.
Hey ShoddyCast, Joe here. First off, I'd like to say that for the most part, I agree with Josh's rant about the Collector's Edition and the Imperial Race Paygate, though, as an MMO min-maxer, I may play a Defector, as it were, depending on racial bonus synergy with the Sorcerer class skill line. Now, based on your last video, Josh, I assume you'll still be playing Altmer, I think it was, with the Aldmeri Dominion, but will Kyle still be playing as a Khajiit? Also wondering what you guys think about cross-faction player-run guilds. Personally, I think it's a terrible idea, as the 3 factions are at war. For the Great Moot and Yoran the Skull King! Thanks for the fantastic show, guys. Keep them coming.
Alright, Joe. Let me just say, Joe is a very popular name. For some reason, in like the 80s and early 90s, Joe was like the top name. Because I know so many Joes.
Yeah, I know a lot of Joes. I know a lot of Joshes, too. Like, definitely in, like, especially gaming. Like, there's a lot of Joes in gaming. There's a lot of Joshes in gaming.
It's weird.
But
anyway, yeah.
What was his question again?
What race do you plan on playing?
Yeah, the race. So obviously, I've said no. I'm not buying the collector's edition because that's my stand against the whole Imperial lock thing. That's my own conviction. It doesn't need to be anyone else's. But absolutely not getting the collector's edition. So Imperial is out of the running. I'm still getting the pre-order though, absolutely. And the pre-order enables me to play any race under any alliance. Now, yes, originally High Elf under the Aldmeri Dominion was what I wanted to shoot for, but more recently, and the more I read up on the Dragon Knight and stuff, I've been leaning towards a Dragon Knight instead of the Templar, which I was looking at before. Now, this is no sure thing at the moment. Yes, it's still going to be a High Elf, and it's still going to be a Templar Paladin type dude, but there's just something about an Argonian Dragon Knight that just looks right.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, you got a scaly reptilian dude, and with the Dragon Knight, you have all these spikes and wings, and it's very, very reptilian-like, very cool. And I do love the Argonian culture. Right next to the Khajiit, those two have my favorite cultures just in lore themselves. So I am considering doing an Argonian under the Aldmeri Dominion.
Okay. You know, I always change. So
who
knows what I'll actually be playing?
If you were a politician, you'd be the biggest flip-flopper out there, let me tell you.
I could probably tell you, though, without a shadow of a doubt, I will be playing the Altmer, just because, oh my god, their passives, they're so good. I can't say what they are, but I love them.
I think Tamriel Foundry posted the passives.
I'm not sure if they did for all the races. I might have just been for I've been heart-packed ones, but just to cover my ass, I'm not going to say what they are.
Well, it's no surprise that, of course, the High Elves are going to have awesome magic passives.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an Altmer, but I may end up playing both classes. But I love the Templar. I love Sword and Shield Templar. So it's kind of like a pally, basically. That and with the weapon swap of the Resto staff as well.
Okay.
It's kind of like how I want to do that. So I can almost be all 3 roles.
Yeah.
Playing that way.
Like a warrior priest. Now, would you be more inclined towards light armor or heavy armor in that build?
Actually, that's funny. I was thinking heavy armor at first. You know, the armor and everything. It'd go really well.
It's the standard like paladin.
Yeah, and I think it really helps with health and stuff. So I thought that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But no, light armor all the way.
Light armor.
Light armor, just for the magicka bonuses and stuff that we know is there.
Okay.
So yeah, that. And then the other one I'm really considering is a sorcerer, again, light armor, with a bow.
Yeah.
So a lot of storm calling, you know, their tree there is like almost all strictly DPS. Maybe one of their summoning pets, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, between those two, I really don't know, because I really like them both.
Yeah. So you're not going to mix any races with any factions. You're going to stick to the...
No, it's going to be Aldmeri Dominion, I can tell you that.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely Aldmeri Dominion, no question about that. But yeah, this raises a very interesting question for everyone, and I'm very curious about this. Because my theory is that there are now tons and tons of people. I got to figure, like, and I'm talking out my ass. I'm just throwing out a statistic here. But maybe 70% of people now are going to end up playing a race in a different alliance.
Probably.
Because of this whole pre-order thing. I know out of the 3 friends that I still have that want to play the Elder Scrolls Online, they have all changed their race. I have one that wants to be a Dark Elf in the Aldmeri Dominion just because he's played a Dark Elf since Morrowind. Dark Elf is the race he loves to be, and he was so excited to hear about this because he was going to have to make like a Bosmer, and he was not looking forward to it. So I got to ask you guys, how many of you are going to leave your faction, be that renegade, and put your race under a different faction?
Yeah. Okay. And to answer your second question about cross-faction guilds, I really don't see the appeal to them anymore because you can't quest with them if they're on a different alliance. You can't do instances with them yet. So I really just I don't see the point unless you just like need more members or something. I really don't see it.
I totally see what you're saying, and it was a comment I read earlier today that said, well, if you're just going to allow this for the pre-order and you're opening up the factions, why not just go all the way with it and just let it be a thing where we can play under any faction? And of course, I know there's people that disagree with it. I do. I'm one of those people. Andrew and I have almost the same exact view on this. In case you don't know Andrew, it's the guy that runs Tamriel Foundry. And that's that opening up the factions to any race becomes like an red versus blue instead of us versus them. You know, there's no longer this. It's no longer choose a faction, choose an ideal. No, it's choose a leader. Choose what leader you want to serve, and that's pretty much it.
Alrighty, now let us move on into our sponsors of the week. A lot of you, a lot of you. So thank you all for that. Let's get through these awesome peoples. Keneal Knighton. We'll say that's what it is. Thank you. Josh. Oh, look, another Josh. Honeycutt. And this is actually a potential officer. Yes, I remember your name.
All right, yeah, people sending in their resumes who want to be officers in the guild.
Christopher Hughes returns. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And Ingvi Fredigsvik
Stendar.
And I wanted to mention that he is one of our top 10 contributors to the site. So if you do want to see that list, head over to ShoddyCast.com and you'll see the list somewhere on there. Tobias
Funke. Tobias Funke.
Tobias Brucevold. Yeah. He was a new donor, by the way. Marissa Racine? We'll go with that. Thank you. Last something. Engine. We'll cover all the bases there. Thank you. Victoria Gates. Hopefully I got that one right. Thank you. Marquise Maddox.
Marquise! You are no longer a mere mortal meant to toil along in this world. No! The Greybeards have called you to High Hrothgar. Your name will become legend. Henceforth, you will be known as Dragonborn!
Alright. New donor here, John Nothin. Not John Nothing. John Nothin Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter Hogan DePaul. That is a name right there.
Yes.
That is a name. Thank you. Travis Patillo returns.
Dragonborn!
Just had to. And this person, one first name wasn't enough. He had to have two. John James Brown.
John James Brown, thank you.
Matthew Osborne returns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, look here. Velocity Lee returns. I still say that's a stage name of some sort. Please let me know. Christine Albert.
For the Queen!
Thank you. And Martin Hirschner returns.
Martin Hirschner, Dragonborn!
He is also one of our top 10 contributors. Thank you, sir. He says, Termiel Trading Company, a DC guild focusing on RP and trade. Visit their site for more information on guild's lore, what gods they worship, as well as up-to-date news on the guild. Visit and sign up today at TermielTradingCompany.com. They also have a Star Citizens Guild. It is a pirate-focused guild, from a long-lost planet. Their website is robertspaceindustriescom/Arcanian. And his message for that was, Arcanian Empire is made up of the only survivors of a long-lost planet which was destroyed by a supernova that started when the Arcanian sun reached the end of its and our lifespan. So blew up. Kind of sounds like Star Trek, the first remake one. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't
The sun
remember
blew up, and it blew up Romulan,
yes,
Romulus, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't an unpopular decision, definitely.
Lois Vanderlante says, I just want to thank you for the efforts you put into your videos. I also wanted to encourage people to come to the forums. They are normally good fun. Just don't upset Dr. Moderator. Not sure I get that reference. Much regards, Louis Theron Telemon. Andrew Lightfoot returns. He says, my dear young Perry Roberts. This would be another donor. We actually have donors talking to other donors. Your offer to welcome me back into the covenant warms my heart, much like the innocent nudge of a lamb being led to the slaughterhouse. But your lands are no home for an Altmer as myself. Although I love studying the works of the simple minds of the lesser races, your faction offers me little in my pursuit of wisdom, power, and personal achievement. Tamriel is in shambles, and this is not the time for an immature race to sit on the ruby throne. The day I rejoin the Daggerfall Covenant is the day a human ascends to godhood. Though it may sorrow your heart, my pet, it will it will never happen.
For the Queen!
That was lovely.
Yeah, beautiful.
Alan Clark returns. He says, I will accept the battle cry of the Daggerfall Covenant, but I cringe whenever you say it aloud. So for my septums, say it low, with cold malice and purpose. Picture Brett Nightblade sneaking into the Queen's chamber as she sleeps. These are the words spoken into her ear as an ebony blade loving what? Sure, slices through her delicate elven neck. Like Lass Yalnur in the dragon tongue. It is a whisper, not a shout. For King and Covenant.
Wow. Wow, that actually gave me chills. You know how to paint a picture there.
Crewblood is here once again. He says, hi, Crewblood here. Just came to say hello. Hello! Anyways, love Josh's reaction to my bribery. It was intended. Question for Josh and Kyle. Dash? I'm not sure why there's a dash there. Vampire lords had this ability to transform into a mass of bats to dash away from whoever was hurting you. Do you think there would be a variation of this ability for vampires? In game, I will most likely play a high elf sorcerer / assassin. That's all the time I have, and always have a nice day.
Yeah, I like that question because what I was picturing exactly was the blink ability from Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft. It's definitely easily possible. We've seen it in MMOs, this sort of teleport out of harm's way ability. And so, yeah, my hope is definitely to see that. That would be awesome.
But to answer, we don't know, and even if we did, we couldn't tell you.
Yeah, there you go.
Under NDA.
That pretty much sums up the show here.
Yeah. Timothy Brownell returns. He says, greetings, ShoddyCast. It is I, Vedon Drakehart. I just wanted to tell you guys that I know you two missed me dearly. Please giving a convincing I did miss you response. Yes, I did miss you, Vedon Drakehart. Well, now that ESO has made it possible for Dunmer to start out in Aldmeri Dominion Alliance, I just wanted to say I hope you'll accept me into the ShoddyCast Guild with loving arms. I don't take rejection very well, so this is to all you Ebentards out there. Screw you guys, I'm jumping ship.
Yes! Oh, that's beautiful. For the Queen! Oh, God, that brought some tears to my eyes, let me tell you. Yes, my elven brother. Join us, and together we will take back these lands.
Hexant Armana. This is a guild. A new donor, apparently. He says, or he, she, all of them say, we are many and we are strong. Many view us as criminals, but we are wrong. But they are wrong. Wow. We take the faulty and make it strong. We are the hexed. And they didn't write it like that. I just said it like that. And we will change ESO into a better version of its original self and become gods of a new world.
That's some promise.
Yeah. Philip Knowlton returns as travelers. Explore the world of Tamriel, for the riches lie within. Let the wind sing you a song, and the sun be your warmth, and the moon guide you at night. We are the loyals to Tamriel. And that would be their guild name as well. They are on the PS4, and their website is loyals2tamriel.engine.com. Matthew Lawrence, wow.
There you go.
Returns. It says, I wanted to personally give the $20 I would have spent on the collector's edition to someone I think cares more about ESO than the people making the game. That's not true. It's ZMI, not ZOS, but...
Hey, a man that shares my convictions, though. I can definitely appreciate that. Definitely. Thank you.
And he says, I'm going to make an Imperial I see on the battlefield the focus of my arrows.
That's pretty funny.
I kind of see it like the sparkly horse in WoW, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
not that bad.
Did you? I brought that up specifically in my video.
Because I actually brought it up. I didn't actually watch your whole video yet. So.
Yeah, the sparkle pony is what we called it.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that bad, but yeah. Anywho, new donor here, Stephen Edwards, says, Greetings, ShoddyCast. I wanted to finally contribute some well-deserved septums towards your efforts. Have to say, I wanted to donate for a while, and Josh convinced me with his WTF video. He proved that there is a voice for the players, capital P. I love your efforts and passion. Keep up the awesome work, and
for the Queen! Thank you for your kind words. Absolutely.
Lewis White, new donor, he says, thank you so much for such an outstanding show. I have never been able to just sit there and listen to any podcast type show for longer than 5 minutes because I get bored. But you guys keep me enthralled. It would be nice to see you guys in the forums more, but... And then that was it.
But what? Oh my gosh, it's a cliffhanger. We have to tune in next week to hear what he says.
That, or I think maybe we sent an assassin because he was trying to say something negative to us.
But...
that was it. Gene Hammonds returns. He says, hello, remember the Argonian Brotherhood? It's back! The guild is now for Xbox One instead of PC, and the Facebook page we said to like, well, it's up and running. And yes, the guild is still Argonians only, minus the fact that my dad wants to be in and he's a Nord. So he wants to be in the guild, and I'm making him an officer of the guild. So like the Facebook page and look for us on the battlefield. Oh, and Josh, tell your baloney nipples I said hi.
I wish my dad played video games.
He used to back in the day, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, closet nerd, we like to call him. Edno Koskenen. Yeah. Here are some septums I found on my travels. I know your stances differ on alliance issues, but I love learning about the history of Nirn, and therefore will gladly share these riches. Should our paths ever cross on the battlefield, I assure you my Daedric servant will bring you a swift and painless death. As for the Queen, that is entirely a different story. For King and Covenant. And several new donors here. Jeffrey Batha says, a message from Queen Arin. My okay, we're gonna do this. My brother Dark Elves. My brother Dark Elves.
Why?
Why do align yourselves with lizards and men? Join us, the Aldmeri Dominion, in restoring elven order to Tamriel. Join us while you can before... What? Join us while you can... Oh, okay. Join us while you can before the conflict begins. There's like missing commas and stuff. It's throwing me off. Elves unite.
For the Queen! Sorry. You guys don't know how our setup is, but I have a very hard time seeing the computer screen from where I'm sitting.
His head all around. So, it's like dipping and weaving.
Sometimes I gotta maneuver myself. But
okay.
I gotta say, if our Queen has a voice like that, I might jump ship. Just saying.
All right, now.
I always imagine her voice very sensual.
Well, we know what her voice sounds like, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Kate Beckinsale. Anyways, this name is epic. Christianus Joseph Van Roon.
Oh man, that's cool. That's like Spartacus shit right there. Holy cow.
His father has to be like an oil baron, or he has to own a Formula One team or something like that. He just has to. He has that name. All right. So anyway, he says, hey, ShoddyCast, as ESO approaches, I'd like to donate some septums to the lore series. Though Khajiit also likes old books from Fallout, so he loves Fallout 3. I'm wondering how customizable ESO Khajiit's stuffs will be. Actually, it is going to be rather customizable. Probably even more so. I know more so than Skyrim is for this.
Luckily, we can say that without breaking NDA because they've showed us the customization. And yes, we've had the opportunity to play with customization. It is deeper in this game.
Yep.
Much deeper.
And finally, Melton Middleton says, "Hello, my name is Melt." Yes, real name. I am the leader of the guild Order of the Black Rose on PS4. We are Ebonheart Pact Guild. To find out more about us, visit our site on Engine or find us on Tamriel Foundry.
Order of the Black Rose. It sounds like something that could be out of the Witcher universe.
Maybe.
Sounds cool.
And that is it for the donations for this week. If you would like to be a sponsor for the ShoddyCast, head over to our website, ShoddyCast.com. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a donation button. If you leave $10 or more, you can leave a promotional message for us to butcher through as we did today.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, all septums donated to the ShoddyCast go directly into improving existing shows and shows that don't even exist yet. So we thank each and every one of you that donate. You allow us to continue to do what we do. Anyway, guys and girls, we've reached the end of this episode of ESO Weekly. Oh, cry me a river. We'll be back next week for more. But don't forget to like this video and share it with everyone you know. And yes, when this video ends, go ahead and hit that previous episode tab, and you'll get taken to the WTF Elder Scrolls Online video. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. I have been Josh.
And I'm Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.